Hernandez. Let's welcome them up. You might need a mic, don't you?
Alright, good morning everyone. How's everybody doing today? My name is Bianca Hernandez and beside me is Miss Parr, and together we stand as the 2017 Honored Heroes for Take Steps Miami. It is a great honor and we're both humbled to be speaking here with all of you today. To us, the term hero is not what we would usually use to describe ourselves. Rather, we stand here today because there are 1.6 million individuals around the world fighting IBD who are our heroes. That is why we both stand here, and we are here just like all of you in hopes of finding a cure for this disease.
I am 14 years old and I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis about 3 years ago. Last year, my gastroenterologist, Dr. Katubi, switched my diagnosis to Crohn's disease after finding inflammation in my ileum. I was on and off of prednisone for a while, and we all know how awesome the side effects from prednisone are. After many months of trying different medicines, Dr. Katubi decided to put me on Remicade. For those of you who don't know what Remicade is, it is a medicine that reduces inflammation that is given through IV. Normally, people are infused with Remicade every 2 months, but unfortunately, my Crohn's is so severe, I have to get it every month. I hate having to miss out on things because I have to go to an infusion center and sit for 2 hours with an IV in my arm and feel terrible after. This year has been very rough. I've been admitted into the hospital 5 times, and every single time was because of Crohn's. It was in one of my hospital stays that I met a 6-year-old boy named Aiden who had been recently diagnosed with Crohn's disease. After hearing him scream and yell across the hall, it hit me. Nobody of any age should ever have to go through this. I went to Aiden's room to calm him down and explain what was going on. I went home the day after talking to Aiden, promising him I would come back to play with him and his Legos in his room without knowing I was going to be leaving the hospital that day. I got home feeling so guilty and sad that I began to cry. I felt so bad that a 6-year-old would have to stay in the hospital in so much pain. I wasn't gone for long because I was admitted back into the hospital a day after I got home, so I got to see Aiden again. He made me realize that Crohn's needs to come to an end. In the summer, In the summer of 2015, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, after having noticed some symptoms. Shortly after my diagnosis, I was immediately taking medication and soon after started a rigorous diet in hopes that my flare-ups would diminish. Unfortunately, I was getting worse and worse and started to look less and less like myself. Thankfully to my gastroenterologist, Dr. Katubi and Dr. Abreu, they worked hand in hand to narrow down a perfect treatment plan to get me back on track. After finally getting back into my regular routine and remembering that I was still a teenager, even though I had been dealing with a chronic illness, I thought about the millions of students around the world who had to have been going through the same things that I was going through myself. With every IBD symptom comes an embarrassing situation. Therefore, what better way to remind IBD patients my age that this disease is embarrassing if the conversation is brought to light, while also spreading awareness among school communities. That sparked the initiative for the program I began in April of 2016, known as Go Free. Thanks to its success, IBD students in 16 schools are able to use the private restrooms in order to avoid embarrassing situations that this disease may cause. Also, Go Free meets with counseling centers to discuss IBD's effects on patients mentally and ways to cope with it. Ultimately, this program has changed my life and reminded me how important it is to continue speaking up and spreading awareness, and to take steps every single day and keep walking towards the goal to find a cure for all IBD patients. Sorry.
My name is Aiden.
And that's why we are both here today. I hate seeing people sick and I hate being sick all the time. I'm here today because every step I take gives me more hope that doctors will find a cure. Finding a cure would mean that some of my best friends like Alina, Bianca, Kat, and even Aiden wouldn't have to go through this anymore. It would mean that I wouldn't be admitted into the hospital for Crohn's and colitis anymore. So with that being said, thank you to everyone for coming out today and being so supportive about a cause that is near to and dear to both of us.
We would like to give a big thank you for everyone to coming out today, especially to our dearest friends and family, Team Caro's Crohnies and Team Go Free, for all their support and especially through helping us through our toughest times. We wanted to end by saying thank you for everyone who has kept with helping fighting Crohn's and colitis. And we're here to determine that one day we will find a cure for this disease. Thank you to everyone once again for joining us.
And let's take some steps.
Thank you, Aiden, for sharing your story.